Welcome. Thank you for joining the Live in Divine Harmony podcast. It's Carmen, your spiritual leader of purpose and numerologist. I lead those who are feeling frustrated and lost and wondering what's next in life. They desire a community of connection. They desire fulfillment and joy, and they desire to live their purpose every day. They've turned to everyone else for answers, including New Age practices, which didn't work. They overbook their calendars, claiming there's not enough time, and they're exhausted at the end of each day, wondering, why is my life not working? Through coaching programs and events, I guide my clients to truly live their divine purpose and live intentionally every day. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that bell for notifications so you never miss another episode. Let's dive in. Welcome back to a new episode of the Live in Divine Harmony podcast. And of course, today we're going to talk about April, the numerology and energy update for April. What is April looking like? Keep in mind, we are in a 9 numerology energy for the rest of this year. And if you'd like a deep dive on what that is, how that's going to impact you, be sure to check out the very first podcast episode here of 2025. And I always do a reminder here up front because sometimes we forget there is so much happening right now, and it's at a rapid pace on all scales, right? In society, on social media, in our life. And it's kind of like somebody just came in to our dinner table and flipped it upside down and said, nope, that is not happening right now. And are you going with it? Are you saying, okay, and getting curious and saying, what's next? Or are you trying to control the situation and fighting it? Because that is how the rest of the year is going to happen. So apparently someone needed to hear that. So please keep that in mind. We are at the end of a major cycle. Everyone is. And it is a huge blessing as we also are simultaneously creating new as well. In order to create the new, the old has to fall away. It absolutely has to. So think back 9 years ago in your life, whatever you are experiencing, and it is now coming to an end of a cycle. People, places, things, situations. And this episode is being recorded during the eclipse. So the second eclipse is going to happen here in a few days. And that is on March 29th is going to be massive new beginnings because it's a new moon. It's a eclipse new moon, which already is on steroids energetic wise in Aries, which is, I call that the fire energy, the go energy. And it's literally about new beginnings. So that weekend, March 29th weekend, is going to be phenomenal if you allow it to be. Keep in mind, anytime I share information like this, it all depends on where you are along your spiritual journey. Are you still stuck in ego? Are you still stuck in New Age? Frankly, I used to be there, and that energy literally keeps you stuck in darkness. And I see so many people there and they don't even realize it. And then when we have energies like this coming up, March 29th, of the solar, partial solar eclipse in Aries, and it's all about new beginnings. And you have a hard time fully working with the energy because of your ego, because of the control, because of where you are energetically. So keep all of that in mind, especially moving forward. We are moving into April. Even though the eclipse portal has closed, those eclipse energies will continue and last for a minimum of 6 months, if not longer. And during this eclipse was a time for you to get back into realignment. And the question is, if you were out of realignment, it's getting you back into alignment. If you're already in alignment, then you're just going to continue to soar above everyone. And everything is just going to be easy breezy for you. It's going to look different for everybody. So we still have Venus in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, and I will talk about that here in a minute. Let's focus on the energies, looking at the numerology for April. So when you look at April, April is a 4th month. And then when you take 2025 plus 4, you get a 4 number. Have you noticed the pattern yet? I love this. So we're in a double 4 energy, along with that 9 energy running behind the scenes, if you will. And, the 4 energy is all about foundations and security. And when I sat in a meditation, there were a few things that I saw. And the bottom line is April is all about massive realignments. Part of that is because of the eclipse energies. Part of that is because of the 9 energy, which is literally the end of a cycle. And this eclipse energy that we're still in at the time that you're listening to this eclipse energy is ending a cycle from 2007, 2008. And it's interesting. I've been asking different people, do you remember back then? What were you doing? What was the energies for you? And it took me a little bit to remember for me. And it's funny because as I'm cleaning out my home, I'm finding things from that time frame, just laughing because that's how it works. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I talk about and infuse numerology into everything that I do, and why I do these podcasts, numerology and energy updates, because it gives us clarity. It gives us clarity about who we are and where we're going next. If we don't have clarity about who we are authentically, about what our next steps are, what are our goals, you can't be in alignment with your divine purpose. You can't live your divine purpose. It's just not possible. It's kind of like you're just floating around and, I go where the wind takes me. And there's no intention in that at all. There's no clarity in that. And so it's really, truly aligning your energy with these energies and saying, okay, where am I? What's the next steps? What gets to shift and change and be different? And anytime I mention change with anybody, they will ask, is it good or bad? There is no such thing as good or bad. Change is change. It's how do you navigate it? And that's where that confidence comes in, right? I have confidence that I am still going to live intentionally my purpose every day, still make an impact every day, and that I'm going to be in alignment with my authentic self doing it. Which is why it's so important to understand and have the knowledge that I share every month in these numerology and energy updates. So we are up for massive realignments. And when I say we, everybody, every person in every life area, and this is something that we talk about in the masterclass, the Cultivate Confidence and Clarity Masterclass, where there's multiple life areas. It's not just the common 3 that we look at, the career and financial and my love life. It's in all of your life areas. So many places we don't even think about. It's in society, on the political scale, in education. Every single place you look, it is up for massive realignments. And it's going to be huge for everyone. And in some cases, it could be earth shattering, both literally and figuratively. If you didn't know already, there have already been volcanoes erupting. I want to say since the beginning of this year, and I honestly haven't been tracking it, like when it started. When I was in meditation about this, I saw a fire, which is, I was kind of like, huh, a fire demolishes before then you rebuild. That is the energy of this month in April. It is massive realignments. It is knocking down the foundation to create a new one. And it can feel scary, right? Sometimes change is scary. And again, what energies are you sinking into? What energies are you focused on? Are you focused on, oh my gosh, this is, I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall off and this is horrible and what am I going to do? Then you're going to continue to create more of that energy in your life. Or are you saying, huh, okay, this is happening for a reason. It's all happening, right? For whatever reason. We try so hard to tie meaning to things. And I feel like that actually does us a disservice. So, how can you just experience the experience, have the experience, and there is no meaning behind it? It's just simply happening. It's an experience that's happening. And then choose to move forward because that is possible. So, I've mentioned that yes, we're still going to feel the eclipse energy and we're going to have a second eclipse this fall. So keep that in mind. Let's talk now about the planetary alignments. Mercury stations direct in Pisces April 7th. And I forget the date where it moved into Pisces, but it moved into Pisces. And on April 7th, it's going to station direct. You'll still have roughly 2 weeks after that where it'll be a post shadow period where whatever didn't occur during Mercury retrograde that needed to occur during Mercury retrograde, it's kind of like a cleanup period. And I would not launch anything until after Mercury goes direct. I'd give it 48 hours, depending on where you are in the world, right? It could go April 7th or 8th. And then April 12th, we have the full moon in Libra. And this full moon in Libra is about balance, which I don't teach balance, but that resonates with people. Balance is a perfectionism energy. So I want you to focus on harmony. When you look at the sign for Libra, it's the scales, right? Everything has to be equal. And it's simply not going to be that way. So how can you focus on harmony in your life and with other people? Do you find peace inside yourself? It's also a focus on relationships. And ask yourself, what do you want to experience in your love life? So if you are single, this is a great time where you could potentially meet a partner. Again, I would want to look at your personal numerology to see what energies you're in. And if you're already in a relationship, it could be that it gets reignited in a way. And don't forget about the most important relationship, which is with yourself. So full moons is also, in general, a time to let go. I don't want you to focus on that, though, during this full moon. If it still goes back to alignment, right? So this is a major month for realignments in our life. And so if you are not feeling peaceful, then how can you get realigned to feel peace? If your relationships are not in alignment, it could be that people in your life are no longer in alignment with the new you. It could be that you're ready. It's kind of like you're being prepped and been prepared for that person to come into your life. That's a new realignment that's happening. So that'll be on April 12th. Venus stations direct in Pisces April 12th, shortly after the full moon happens. And then we will be in a retrograde free world until May 4th. Yay! So it could feel like things speed up even more because of that energy. And then April 27th, we have a new moon in Taurus. And this is shifting your focus to what is going to fulfill you, what makes you feel whole. It's kind of like if you didn't have to worry about money, what would you do for a living? And honestly, that's not something I would ask anybody because I see it so much bigger. It's what impact do you want to have in this world? What's your footprint? What's your thumbprint? What's your legacy? What does that look like for you? Because your JOB is simply just a vehicle for that to occur. That new moon is also a really good time, not just to create like intentions, but really get clarity on is what I wanted before, do I still want that now? Because I've changed a lot. And does it still make sense for that in my life, to have that in my life? Kind of like maybe the partnership that you thought you wanted, and then you've shifted so much, you're like, yeah, I don't want that anymore. And that's okay. This is a major transformative month in April. If you'd like feedback and assistance on how this is going to show up for you personally, because remember, these are the collective energies. I encourage you to purchase a private numerology session. That is a great time to really look at who you are. And I also offer life coaching during that session as well, of how to maneuver through these obstacles that you've been experiencing in your life. And of course, you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, not realizing that it's kind of like you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what to do differently to have a different outcome. And it comes with a written report. We spend an hour on Zoom, and it's a wonderful tool that you can use. If you've already had a private numerology session with me, you can always book an hour session where we will go over your 12 monthly energies. That is a great time to do for your birthday, where we look at your new personal year and then the 12 monthly energies during that, your new year, what I call your new year, which goes birthday to birthday. Now, if you'd like to take a deeper dive into your purpose, into your divine purpose, why are you here? What am I really doing? How do I live my purpose intentionally every day? I have instant access programs available for you right now. I'll make sure to put a link in the show notes. And as always, you are invited to join us in the Experience Your Awakening online community. Feel free to ask questions in there, especially throughout the month as you're experiencing these energies. You may have some concerns or wondering what is really going on. Why do I feel this way? And we can have that conversation in there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, sending you much love. Take care.